Shalom to the nation of Israel. This is Barzal coming in the spirit and power of Yahuwah Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, Racha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and to the hopeful elect, pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. This lesson is going to be titled, There's Only One Power, Only One God. You know, these nations have all their gods and, like Buddha, Vishnu, Krishna, all these other gods, Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, they have their God, right? Which is not our God, right? You have Islam, right? Taoism, right? And the list goes on. But, right, at the end of the day, their gods are all idols, right? They're not real, right? And those gods that they worship were created by Yahuwah, right? Because those gods are just gods on the left-hand side. That's all it is. And they're not gods, right? But if you want to look into the word God, it means powers, right? So those powers that they're getting from are from the left-hand side, which Yahuwah, the real true God, is the one that ordains those things to happen, right? So if they're worshiping someone like, let's say, Vishnu, and they have to do some, sacrifice or whatever, and something comes out of it, it's on the left-hand side, but the Most High ordained that, right? But usually when you do those things, there's a price with it, on top of it, right? And it's not real anyways, because it just leads to destruction, sin, death, right? And that only happens when you're straying away from the real true power, which is Yahweh. When you're on the right path, things are good, right? There's no death involved because you're not going off. So all those gods that these other nations worship are just causing them to go off, heaping sin upon sin, going further off the right track, right? So the etymology of the word God, it says Old English God, supreme being. So yeah, Yahweh is the supreme being. And next to him is the son Yahweh Shai, right? It says deity, the Christian God, which technically the Israelites are the true Christians, right? But now we can't really call ourselves that because these Christians, just like everything in this world, Esau takes something and he perverts it, right? So we don't call ourselves Christian, we call ourselves Israelites, right? Which is still who we are anyways, right? Image of God, God-like person. Where else does it say? Only pretty much the point is right there. So we're going to go to Isaiah 45:17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord, Yahweh, with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end, right? And it says Israel. So only Israel is going to be saved by Yahweh. Yahweh is only coming to save Israel. And even further, the elect. Because the elect, through him saving the elect, Israel's going to be saved. All of Israel's going to be saved because the 2/3 are going to be destroyed. But they're going to come back through the elect as their children. So he really is saving all of Israel by saving the elect. That's right. Verse 18, for thus saith the Lord Yahweh that created the heavens, Yahweh himself that formed the earth and made it. He hath established it. He created it not in vain. He formed it to be inhabited. I am the Lord Yahweh, and there is none else, right? Now, if you know the story, the story of Genesis, the Lord Yahweh, right, the supreme being, he created the heavens and the earth, right, and the animals. It was his blueprint, his power, right? But he tasked he tasked Yahweh Shai and the angels to do it. So they were the workers. He tasked the blueprints to the plan of creating everything onto Yahweh Shai and the angels, right? But at the end of the day, it's Yahweh's plan, right? So that's why it says he created, right? And if you go into the word, let's just see what it says there, because it might actually say powers. Okay, so no, it says God, so it's Elohim, right? Because at the end of the day, it's Yahweh's plan. I was just curious to see what it was going to say. So now we're going to go to Isaiah 44:6. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, the King of Israel, and his Redeemer, the Lord of hosts, I am the first and I am the last, and beside me there is no God. Right? So it's straight to the point. There is no God beside Yahweh. Right? There's no God. So when these Muslims talk about Allah, right? I mean, at the end of the day, they don't know that the Most High is the only God that's up there. But by them using a different name and worshiping that name within what it needs to be worshipped in, they're invoking a different spirit, which is not Yahweh, right? Because they're going by different rules and different commandments that they have. So that they're not praising Yahweh. Now, Allah still means God, power, right? Because we can say that, we can say power, but we know his name is Yahweh and we know his law, statutes, and commandments, right? So they're praising a different power that comes with different rules, so-called rules, but it's all on the left-hand side. Because with those rules comes death and sin, right? And going off, right? And it says, I am the first and I am the last, and beside me there is no God. So even the atheists, right there, people that are atheists, they claim they believe in nothing. They don't believe that there's a God. Well, so if they don't believe in a God, then what do they believe in? They obviously believe in themselves, so they do believe in something then. So it's contradicting, right? That's just an example, but just shows you how everyone's just bugged out, man. They say they don't believe in the Most High. It's just nonsense. But the point is that there's only one power. There's only one God. Isaiah 45:3, and I will give thee the treasure of darkness and hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I, the Lord Yahweh, which called thee by thy name, am the power of Israel. So he's the God of Israel, right? For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. Right? So that's also talking about basically like how he's known us from the beginning, right? How he always says he's known thee in the womb, right? Before you're even born, he knows you because he's the power of Israel. He doesn't care about the other nations. He refers to them as spittle, right? So for Israel, for Israelites, your God is the one that controls everything, and he said that you're his people. Do you know how powerful that is? That you have the power that controls everything, chose Israel, and you're an Israelite. So you get first dibs on blessings and also curses, also judgment. So if you do right, you get good. If you do bad, you get bad, right? But there's only one God. There's only one God. Verse 5, I am the Lord Yahweh, and there is none else. There is no God beside me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me, that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me. I am the Lord Yahweh, and there is none else. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord Yahweh, do all these things. Yeah, so when all these things happen, it's because Yahweh wanted it to happen. So when these Christians, these bugged out Christians in these churches, like, oh, that was Satan. Why would the Lord kill people? Why would he do that? Why would he cause all this death and destruction and sickness? Why would he want that? Right here it says, I form the light and create darkness. Isn't sickness, death? That's a dark thing that happens, right? I make peace and create evil. It's also evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. I, the Lord Yahweh, do all these things. So the Lord Yahweh, God, does all those things. So it's not Satan, right? Now, Satan might be acting on orders, right? Because Yahweh has his workers, like he has Yahushai. Yahushai has his job, just like Satan has his job. But the Lord is the one that sanctioned it. So at the end of the day, he is the one that does those things. Nothing happens unless he says it can happen, right? Well, these Christians that are bugged out, just think that Satan's just running loose, doing whatever he wants. You know, he's a rebel. He has a bang of angels from heaven, and they're fighting against the Lord. That's just nonsense. It's nonsense. Because that would mean he would be on the same level as the Most High. That means he would be a God that's beside the Most High, on the same level as him. But the Most High said there's no God beside him. So if there's no God beside him, that means he's above everybody. Therefore, Satan won't be able to do all those things. There's no way Satan's on his level. There's no way Satan's running loose. If you have a boss, right, you don't say, yeah, me and my boss are on the same level. My office is right beside his office. Or I'm sitting beside him in his office. We share offices. No. You're on a lower level, and you follow orders from what he tells you to do. He tells you what to do, and you do it because you're a worker under him. It's the same thing, right? That's just order. So now we're going to go to 46 and 9. Remember the former things of old, for I am Yahuwah, and there is none else. I am Yahuwah, and there is none like me, right? Then we're going to go to Deuteronomy 32 and 39. Oh. Mistyped. Hey, Deuteronomy 32 and 39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. Exactly. So, just like the other one we read, the Most High does all these things. He kills and he makes alive. He wounds and he heals. So when someone gets healed, it's because the Lord wanted the person to get healed. It's not because it's Buddha. It's not because it's Vishnu, Krishna. It's not because of Jesus Christ, right? It's not because of, I don't know who else is there, Semiramis, Tammuz. It's not because of Zeus, right? It's because of Yahuwah wanted that person to get healed. Even with doctors, right? Even with what they do, when someone gets healed from a doctor, it's because the Most High wanted that to happen, right? Now, a lot of time with doctors, there's usually complications that come with it, right? You know? But the point is that the Lord does it. And also said in here, this is the point. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So when you're in trouble, right? Whether you're in trouble and you end up getting killed or wounded or evil happens to you, or you're in trouble and you get saved out of it, it's because the Lord did it. So that's why when things happen, we always have to give praise unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because that's why it happened, whether it's something bad or whether it's something good, right? You have to give praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushai because he did it through his son Yahushai, right? Right? So now we're going to go to 2 Kings 5 and 15. 2 Kings 5 and 15. And he returned to the mount of God, he and all his company, and came and stood before him. And he said, behold, now I know that there is no God in all the earth, but in Israel. Now, therefore, I pray thee, take a blessing of thy servant, right? So sometimes things have to happen to you for you to understand that, there's only one God, right? And that's what happened in this story. But, when that happens, you understand, there's only one God that exists. Because maybe you were worshiping a different God, and Yahuwah put you in a situation, and you're probably praising that God, trying to get him, you're doing everything you needed to do, but I guess maybe what you did before to get out of that situation, but it wasn't working, right? And then you finally finally said, you prayed to Yahuwah, Ba'ashem Yahushai, asked for help, and then you got delivered. Then you understand, this is the Most High is the one that's true, that's real. He's a real power. Or he might do something to show you that he's a real power, like he did in Egypt, right? And what he's going to do again in Jacob's trouble, to show that he's a real power. Yahweh is the real power on earth. All these other gods are idols. They're not real, right? So sometimes people have to get set up for that so the Lord can proclaim his name, right? So Esau, why Esau's running loose on the planet right now is for the Lord to come, right, through his son Yahushai and Michael and the angels to proclaim the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? Because that's how he's going to be able to show his power. It's going to be such a great salvation in such a tribulous time of trouble for Jacob and the whole planet that no one's going to doubt who did it. They're not going to question if it was Vishnu or Krishna or Jesus Christ. They're going to know it's Yahuwah, the power of Israel. right? There's going to be no doubts. That's why everything's planned, right? Sometimes you got to wait. It's the climax of a movie. Hosea 13:4 is the last one. Yet I am the Lord thy power from the land of Egypt, and thou shalt know no God but me, for there is no Savior beside me. Right? Basically what I just said, just backed it up. So the point is that Yahweh, right, is a true power. It's a true God. All these other gods are just phonies. They're not real. Right? They're imposters. Right? And at the end of the day, all those gods that are being created are just moving on the left-hand side. So anything happens through, like if someone says, oh, this God did this, Most High sanctioned it, just on the left-hand side. That's all it is. So, but he can stop that from happening as soon as he wants. All those sacrifices you're doing to those gods, he can stop those things from happening where you benefit from it, right? And put you in a tribulous situation for you to call into the Yahuwah. And maybe he'll save you out of it, and maybe he won't, But the point is that there's only one power. So I hope this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect, that pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. And shalom until next time.